is where we left off at last week. I'm just reminding everyone that catalyst equals contrast, challenges, and difficulties. So it's built into this level of reality, this density. It is built in. It's a part of it. For your soul's evolution and your soul's growth, you have to go through something.
Right.
All right.
Right.
Simply put.
Let me touch on something else too. So just imagine you coming back and you remembering things that you've been with this person before, and in this lifetime they're a man, but that lifetime they were a woman
Or a child.
or a child or any or whatever. It might be your best friend,
Yeah.
but in this lifetime he might be your enemy.
Yes, that's
You know what I'm saying? So just imagine you coming back and everybody's coming back and seeing these things.
it'd be a lot
It
of
could be
it could be
confusion.
overwhelming to the consciousness,
Exactly.
to the mind.
Which was happening at a time.
Say again.
Was happening at a time.
Oh,
That's why.
Right, I got you.
When people was living longer,
Right.
they were coming back, and these same people
That
they were
murdered
dealing
them,
with,
yes.
they was here, and they could remember. So you have to
Right. The veil
Yeah.
was thrown on to
Right.
ease
Ease
that thing. So also remember, as we move to the fourth density, you're going to be moving whether to the path of the self-service or service to self or service to other selves path. So you've made the choice in the third density as you move or elevate to the fourth density, right? Positive polarity, service to others. So the fourth density is the density of love and understanding. And the corresponding chakra is the green ray or the heart chakra. It's a chemical light body. So for those who are going through spiritual awakenings and different things at this point in time, what you're going to start seeing is these strong desires to change your diet. Strong desires to change your diet. Because again, from what we understand, we have moved into the beginning of the fourth density. So what's going to happen is there's going to be a lot of desires to make shifts and changes in your life so that you could be more comfortable at the higher frequency. And what that means is you're going to start developing a light body. It doesn't mean that you're going to do it you're going to have a light body in this incarnation. I'm not saying you're not, but that takes hundreds and hundreds of years of incarnations to eventually will evolve into a different type of physical body. So like I said, it's going to be a chemical light body.
Yeah.
The average incarnation cycle is 90,000 years of incarnations as we reckon time.
right.
The full evolutionary cycle is 30 million years. So it's a long time at the fourth density. Earth shifted to the fourth density, according to Ra, or according to a lot of sources, at 2012. So you might want to take time and look back at what you were doing around that time period and what has changed in your life from that point to this point now. So Earth will now begin evolving fourth density bodies. So the evolutionary cycle has begun. In my case, I was a lot heavier, a lot bigger,
Right.
and was introduced. I'll get into that some other time, to a vegetarian, vegan. I don't even know what to call it, because my guides, my angels, gave me the diet, and I took a full body cleanse and lost 45 pounds in 21 days. And from what I was told was I've become lighter because I'm lighter. That's a double entendre. But yeah. So I think I've caught us up to where we left off.
Yeah, because we was at the heart chakra.
Okay, so another thing to know in the heart chakra, when a density polarizes to fourth density, and if they choose a negative path, they do not activate the heart chakra. They don't see any value in activating the heart chakra. They focus on their will and determination in the lower three chakras, and they start cultivating how they speak and how they see.
Right.
And they cultivate the wisdom of the higher densities without using the heart. So it's serious. It takes a lot of effort, but it's a lot of entropy when you choose the negative path.
Yeah.
All right. Let's get it. So we're moving on to the fifth
Yes.
chakra, or the fifth density.
Right.
Anything you want to say, Malak, before we move into it?
No, we can get straight to it.
All right, cool.
We're doing 5 through 7 today, right? 5 through 7.
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah, good stuff.
that's just those three.
All right.
Okay. So the fifth density is light and wisdom.
Okay.
It is the blue ray, or the correlating chakra is the blue ray, or the throat chakra. And in this density, you have a light body. So by the time you have evolved, the vehicle that you'll be using will be a straight energy or light body.
Right.
It balances the overzealousness towards service learned in the fourth density with wisdom. So a lot of times in the fourth density, because it is the love ray, you may see a lot of martyrdom for those entities that are really polarized through the heart chakra. And so you see a lot of sacrifice without what Ra would call wisdom. You understand what I'm saying? So in the fifth density, you start having a realization, and you start utilizing the wisdom with the love.
Right. And I would even add that you transcend the physicality and the ego. Right. Which the physical essence and the ego, they bind you in a certain type of manner. Mm-hmm. Right. There's a lot of distortion in the physicality and the ego.
Yes. Oh,
that was it.
I thought you were going to say something. So you learn the lessons of worthiness and duty, and this develops extremely powerful psychic abilities. And what it is like the sixth density being, they allow you to utilize your freedom of choice, versus, well, since you're my child, you have to listen to what I say, and so on and so forth. Like Malak said, that egoic aspect is pulled away.
Right.
Yes.
So it's more of, okay, if that, as Joe Kane says, if that's what you wants to do,
all right, that's
you
what
allow.
You want to do,
and they only step in when they feel like it's absolutely necessary to help, or if someone asks for their help.
Right.
Fifth density being sometimes chooses to incarnate in lower densities to be of service by bringing their higher frequency to the third density plane. Each entity's service may differ according to their assignment. These beings are often known or called old souls. Right. So it's a entity that chooses. They have graduated from the fourth, from all the way up to the fourth. They've moved to the fifth, but to refine or to help those at the lower densities, they actually choose to incarnate, right, for whatever their mission or their purpose is. At a spiritual level, a fifth density being retreats completely in itself and spends much of its incarnation alone learning the lessons of wisdom. The lessons of the fifth density are knowing that all is unfolding according to divine purpose and right action.
Well, can I add to that?
Go ahead.
And I would even say that, through that, they understand the interconnectedness of all things.
Of all things, yes.
Right. They don't see separation.
Right.
In the way that we reckon separation.
Right.
Right. They understand that, hey, look, man, we're the same.
Right.
There really is no difference.
Right.
So, things like compassion are increased, you know what I mean, in this density, because it's like, you know what, I get it. I was there. I understand. There's no reason for me to,
to bash you,
things
talk
like
about you,
things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that there.
Right. Well, continuing, I was saying, I started. The lessons of the fifth density are knowing that all is unfolding according to divine purpose, and right action is only taken when it is felt to be appropriate and honoring the free will of the other self. Mm-hmm. They have total freedom in what we call time and space. They could teleport through thought.
Right.
And they have the power to manipulate consciousness. They can create matter out of light. So you may see they have the ability to manifest in what we would consider a physical body, but it's actually more light. Well, everything is light, really, but you understand what I'm saying?
Right.
Matter. Anything you can do in a lucid dream, they can do here. A fifth density being can do it here. At this point in time, they start converging and start creating social memory complexes. You want to touch on that, or
Social memory complex.
are you good?
I mean, we could touch on the social.
Because we talked about it last week.
Yeah, we
which
could.
is,
So, like in short, a social memory complex is a collective consciousness that essentially vibrates on the same chain of thought, the same frequency. So, for an example, there are let's take football teams. I'll use that as an example.
Right.
There are social memory complexes with football teams, right? Dallas Cowboy fans vibrate at a certain frequency.
Facts.
Okay. So do Philadelphia Eagle fans.
Exactly.
They vibrate at a certain frequency. Right? Or if you take the arena of sports, right? That in itself is a social memory complex, right? Which there are thought forms that coexist with that. There are expressions of those thought forms. There are behavioral patterns that exist within those thought forms because it is a collective consciousness.
right.
Of people who joined under the banner of
That
sports.
team, right.
That team. There's an energy. There's a spirit with that. You know what I mean? That, functions and does what it does.
That was a good example. That was a good example. And likewise, you do have what we consider negative entities that reside in the fifth density.
They do.
Right.
And we'll get into that towards the end. So everything about negative anything, because we're not here to promote negativity or fear or anything like that. So if we have time, we'll touch on it.
Yeah.
So we'll just continue on with the chakras.
Got it.
The correlating chakra.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
You go ahead, take it.
Okay. That would be the throat chakra, which is the color blue. It's for communication and healing, creativity. The main issues of it would be seeing the whole individual, seeing the one will, just like you were just explaining to that point, right? The divine principle would be speech and expression. The goal would be creative communications.
Right. Okay. And if I can expand on that, the idea is that speech is the image of mind.
Facts. Got you.
So, what you think, you say what you think, and what you think is what you call forth.
Right.
Right. And that image is the very manifestation of said thought.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So
exactly.
I just want to touch on the associated gland.
okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
The associated gland for the fifth chakra is the thyroid.
Mm-hmm.
The thyroid is associated. The parathyroid,
right,
is also the associated gland. The thyroid is rich in blood vessels and nerves and secretes important bodily hormones. The main thyroid hormone is thyroxine, or T4.
Mm-hmm.
Along with other thyroid hormones, T4 influences metabolism, growth, development, and body temperature. Thyroid problems are widespread to include hypo and hyperthyroidism, Graves' disease, digestive,
right,
and weight problems, and exhaustion. Related diseases related to the Vishuddha, that's another name for the throat chakra, include asthma, bronchitis, mouth ulcers, thyroid dysfunction, sore throat, laryngitis, ear infections, hearing issues, mouth problems, teeth, gum issues, tinnitus, tonsillitis, neck issues, upper arm pain, laryngitis, hay fever, and
That's a lot.
temporomandibular joint disorders, or TMJ, lockjaw.
Right. So if I can, just kind of contain all of that information, right? Again, you see these type of anomalies when the pattern is interrupted in the thyroid.
Right.
Right. So, you may go to, you may see a physician for something that it may manifest as a pain or a disease.
Right.
But this is a clear indicator that there's a disruption in the unity of the pattern.
Right.
You know what I mean? So